Hello, my name is Matthew, and this morning I read William Wilson by Edgar Allan Poe, and this was sort of a buddy read. I read this short story with one of you, so hello if you're watching, and it was great fun. This is a short story that I had not read before, and it just caught my eye, and I thought it would be fun to read together, and it's written as a confessional. And Edgar Allan Poe is so good at beginning his tales and setting the atmosphere and the ethereal voice straight away. And he kind of has a very similar way of starting stories, and it always just gets me. I'm going to read just a little bit of the beginning. Let me call myself, for the present, William Wilson. The fair page now lying before me need not be sullied with my real appellation. This has been already too much an object for the scorn, for the horror, for the detestation of my race. To the uttermost regions of the globe have not the indignant winds brooded its unparalleled infamy. And it goes on. But it's already extremely creepy and eerie and gothic and supernatural. All of the things that we kind of associate with Edgar Allan Poe. But I love that we might not even know if this is a living person. It could be some sort of specter or a ghostly, unnatural thing. Let me call myself, for the present, William Wilson. So it starts, and one of the first things that I thought of in this sort of confessional, mad, frantic voice that we're hearing, it immediately reminded me of Notes from Underground by Dostoevsky. This confessional page that we're getting, and it is frenetic and hyper and mad, all of those things, angry. And William Wilson starts telling his story, and in his schoolhood days, he joined a school at the very same day that another boy joined the school, and the other boy had the same exact name. So there's two William Wilsons. And of course, my next thought was, well, now this reminds me of The Double by Dostoevsky. But I love how it's such an absurd idea that another boy at your school that has the same exact name really would be kind of unsettling and irritating for no good reason at all. So I love that it's sort of portrayed in this supernatural way, but it's still in some ways relatable. The character, the other William Wilson, our narrator tells us, started sort of acting more like him and dressing more like him and taking on his mannerisms and copying. He's sort of transforming himself, this doppelganger, into our narrator. And our narrator is in such a frenzy and unreliable that even though he's telling us these things, we don't know if he's telling the truth or if he even knows what is reality. He could just be having this wild delusional episode. It's fantastic. And as far as the atmosphere, this school that the children inhabit is also drawn out to be this supernatural structure, and I loved it. I'm going to just read a portion of this as well. But the house, How quaint an old building was this! To me, how veritably a palace of enchantment! There was really no ending to its windings, to its incomprehensible subdivisions. It was difficult, at any given time, to say with certainty upon which of its two stories one happened to be. From each room to every other, there were sure to be found 3 or 4 steps in either ascent or descent. So it's this labyrinthine, mazy building that has endless rooms and nooks and crannies, and you could go up and down the stairs and not know if you're on the first or third or second floor. Such a great way of making um, making the environment um, add to the whole feeling of the story and feel like a character in itself. In some ways, that part reminded me of the personality of the House of the Seven Gables. So now we have these two people. We have a doppelganger and this other person, and our narrator is sort of just having a fit. Uh, Unfortunately, for a short story, I felt like it didn't really hang together. There are a few um, episodes that are stitched together. There's actually a gambling table where we have all of these people around a card table, which reminded me of The Gambler by Dostoevsky. I think Poe might have been reading Dostoevsky. But it has such a great premise. There's someone that just has your name, and they start taking everything that makes you you. It's maddening. And I just don't think that the story that goes along after that is as satisfying as it could have been. It's well executed. It almost reminds me of um, sort of like a plot draft of a longer work, as if each one of these episodes was going to receive a much longer treatment. Um, Instead, it just sort of felt disjointed, and um, I guess I won't spoil the ending, but there wasn't really too much of a surprise with how it wrapped up. I do love those sort of aha endings or gasp endings. Um, but yeah, so William Wilson by Edgar Allan Poe, just a spooky, supernatural short story. A lot of psychology as well. Let me know if you've read it. Let me know if you've enjoyed it, or um, if you have anything to, if you have anything to say. Leave a comment if you would like. And yeah, so thank you for watching. Bye.